whenever we discuss about this local self-government, at least you should be able to know the foundation values and the preliminary stages in which the local self-governments have been established. There was a committee known as Bhalvanthara Mahata Commission. They have given a report saying that the popularly elected Gram Panchayat should be there in each cluster of villages. There will be Gram Sabhas and they are known as village councils. The person who heads the village Panchayat is known as a Sarpanch. There will be a Upa Sarpanch also, and there will be members of the Panchayat. And it can be a group of villages. If it is a major Panchayat, it consists of several other small villages also. And after the village council, there will be a Gram Panchayat council in which everything is decided. And after that, there will be another important thing known as Samiti level, that is known as Samitis. These Samitis are formed in blocks. Earlier they used to be known as block level officers, block development officers. I will join through the iPad.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. The first stage is Panchayat, and then it goes to block level. It is known as Panchayat Samiti. Earlier olden days, they are known as blocks, but when N.T. Ramarao came into power, he abolished the block system and he made Mandal. So now it is known as Mandal Praja Parishad. Originally village is there, and then Mandal Praja Parishad is there. Above that, there will be Jilla Parishad. So the chairman of the Jilla Parishad will be at the district level, and they are elected through, now according to the constitutional amendments, there is a ZPTC member, and all these members, they elect the chairman, and he is known as Jilla Parishad chairman. For each district, there will be a chairman. Similarly, for each Panchayat Samiti, there will be a board president. He is known as a Mandal Praja Parishad president. So this is the three-tier system. Number one is village Panchayat. Above that, it is a block and Mandal Praja Parishad. And combining all these mandals, there will be a district level person who is known as Jilla Parishad. The Jilla Parishad is controlled by a government officer who is called as CEO, Chief Executive Officer. The district collector also is a member of that Jilla Parishad, but the controlling officer is Chief Electoral Office, Chief Executive Officer, who is known as a CEO. For the mandals, a mandal development officer is there. And then before the Gandhian era, the Charles Metcalfe, a British governor in India in 19th century, he called them as little republics. If a country is a republic, similarly, a small panchayat also is a little republic. The person who named it as little republic is Charles Metcalfe. You please note down. The governor of India during 19th century, Charles Metcalfe, he said the village panchayat is a little republic. Even recently, our Prime Minister Modi said the Panchayat Sarpanch is the Prime Minister of that village. The Jilla Parishad chairman is the Prime Minister of that district. So he has all responsibilities. So Lord Ripon, you please note down, Lord Ripon in 1882 has constituted an electorate. People will be electing the Panchayat Sarpanch, the block level Mandal Parishad chairman, and the Jilla Parishad chairman. It's the direct voting or indirect voting. And the Panchayat Acts, village Panchayat system, and all the responsibilities of the village Panchayats to be governed by were determined by the Britishers. During the Gandhi era, Gandhi's tradition is Sarvodaya movement. You please note down. Gandhi created word called, the word which he has denominated is Sarvodaya movement. In the Article 40 of Directive Principles, you please note down that also. The community development projects were incorporated in 1952. When S.K. Day was there, he was the Panchayat minister. He was the Panchayat Raj minister at the central level. So he made several recommendations for the community development. Several community development projects were there. They were known as community development projects. According to the Bhalvanthara Mahata committee report, a three-tier system, the three-tier system is introduced by Bhalvanthara Mahata committee. And in 1959, they have been established. So this Panchayat Raj system, if somebody asks you when did this Panchayat Raj system come into effect, you should definitely and immediately say it has been created in 1959. From 1959 onwards, it is going on, and several Panchayat board members, several Panchayat board chairmen and the sarpanchas, they are being elected. And the legislation of Panchayat establishment has been in 1964, the Panchayat Raj institution system has been strengthened and people's participation has increased. Now, if you want to contest for Panchayat Sarpanch, you should at least spend 10 to 15 lakhs. If you want to contest for a Sarpanch or Upa Sarpanch, you have to spend a lot of money because people are expecting the voters, the electorate, even though it is very small. The village may be consisting of 40,000 voters or 50,000 voters, but they have become very much indebted to this Panchayat Raj system. And in 1989, there was a very big show of this Panchayat Raj development institutions. The first state government which took a decision was West Bengal government. You please note down. West Bengal government has transferred substantial funds to the panchayats because panchayat, the revenue which they collect from taxes, house tax, it is known as house tax or property tax, whatever it is very small. If it is a small village with 40,000 village houses, and even if you collect 200 or 300 as house tax every year, the amount may not exceed 10 lakhs rupees. So you have to spend a lot of money on the priorities. So what are the priorities we will discuss later. So the first government which gave direct money to the panchayat is West Bengal government, because West Bengal government is almost a communist government during the several decades, and the CPI, CPM or whichever the party is there, they have given a lot of strength to the Panchayat Raj institutions. In Karnataka also, slowly this Panchayat Raj system has given strength. In mid-1980s, Karnataka has important efforts to revive this Panchayat system. Panchayats have been given powers and they are able to do some constructive work. The Panchayats after 1989, there was a sea change. Rajiv Gandhi came into power, and Rajiv Gandhi has started a scheme called as Jawahar Employment Plan, which is known as Jawahar Rozgar Yojana. You please note down Jawahar Rozgar Yojana. There will be a direct question in previous examination about Jawahar Rozgar Yojana. It is direct funding to the village councils, to the panchayats. Earlier, what they were doing, central government will allot some hundreds of crores to the state government. State government in turn will give it to districts. Districts will in turn give it to blocks, and the blocks will give it to panchayat. But Rajiv Gandhi made a sea change by introducing the system of direct payment to the panchayats. Even now also, Modi government also is doing the same thing. The government is straight away giving it to the Panchayat Raj systems. The 64th amendment made it all state governments should establish a three-tier government. You please note down this also. The 64th Amendment made the mandatory three-tier system in all the state governments. And the elections will be conducted and they have a full 5-year term. Nobody can reject them. But during the period of Congress government itself, the panchayats have been abolished and the sarpanch has been thrown out from that course. But now the 64th Amendment said there should not be any break in the service of the sarpanch and he will be there for full 5 years. Then the significant change is 73rd Amendment. You please note down. On 22nd December 1992, that means exactly about 30 years back, same December, 22nd December 1992, Congress government passed the 73rd Amendment, which gave panchayats the constitutional status. Previously, panchayat matters were considered as a state subject, whereas this amendment made, except the states where there was a population of less than 2 million, all panchayats will have 5-year term. That is a number one. And then the constitutional status was also given with effect from 20th April 1993. You please note down that also. With effect from 20th April 1993, a gazette notification was given. In that gazette notification, the rights and duties of panchayats have been included in the Schedule 11. The Schedule 11, you should also note down. It came into effect from 20th April 1993. The three-level system came. Number one, the three-level system, as I mentioned you earlier, Panchayat Raj, Mandal Parishads, and then Jilla Parishad. This three-level system, there should be an election. Number one, please note down. 5 years term for the elected Panchayat Raj people. That is compulsory. There should be 5 years. Then number two, reservation of seats. Some seats in the panchayat shall be reserved for the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and women. That is also important. Number of reserved seats for the SCs and STs will be in proportionate to the ratio of population available in that particular area. And then responsibility. What is the responsibility? Panchayats have two main responsibilities. Number one, to plan for the economic development and social justice. Number two, to implement these plans. Because panchayats are given some funds and they have to execute some plans, what roads are to be built, what is the hygiene and health and transport, water. Drinking water is more important because for villages, you have to go to several miles to conduct or connect your water supply. Now the road safety is there. You have the roads, you have the hospitals, and you have the water supply also. Electricity also is more important. All these things are in the Panchayat Raj system itself. And then what are the powers of the government of Panchayat? The legislature of the state may authorize a Panchayat to levy and collect appropriate taxes, toll fees, and fees. Toll gate, all these toll gates are under the Panchayat. If somebody enters into your village, you can have a toll and you can collect the car or other vehicles, the fees. It may also provide grant in aid from the consolidated fund of the state. The state government will give some funds. Then there will be another state finance commission that is also there in the amendment. Each year, a state finance commission will give directions to the state government how much of amount percentage is to be given to the panchayats. Then there is another bill known as the Panchayats Extension Scheduled Areas Bill 1996. In 1996, some of the villages where the tribal areas are there and where Gram Sabhas are there, every village of a small tribal area should have a customary law and a Gram Sabha. Gram Sabha means like our assembly or Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Each Panchayat will have a Gram Sabha. In the Gram Sabha, all voters will meet and they will prepare what are the roads to be constructed, what is the electricity bills to be prepared, what is the water supply to be given, and the education also. The primary education is part of the responsibility of the Panchayat. And then the Panchayat at the appropriate levels have a minor forest produce also. If you have some trees like low yielding fruit varieties, they can levy the tax. And the chairpersons in the Panchayat shall be reserved for STs also. If a lot of people are there in STs, you should have a reservation for them also. Then, what is the role of the state government in Panchayats? It is a Swaraj. The plan of this Panchayat is Swaraj, self-government. The elected people, by their own merit, they will give the people's representation and they will serve the people. That is the more important thing which you have to keep in mind. And then the capacity of the resources also they have to build. How they will get money, the Panchayat to run their administration, they have to levy some taxes, they will collect the taxes, they will expenditure them, and they will spend it on the right purposes. Then Panchayat has the role of keeping the environment also. So these are the things you please note down. One is agriculture extension. Agriculture extension. Number 2, land improvement. Number 3, minor irrigation. We have a tank or a river going through the village, it is maintained by the Panchayat. And minor forest produce. The reserved forest is given to the state government. And if you have a small forest in the nearby village, then it is controlled by Panchayat only. Then we go to the second stage of urban self-government. We discussed about the rural self-government. Now we will go to the urban self-government. What is the urban self-government? All the major towns, they have municipalities. So the municipal administration and these elected bodies, these elected bodies are known as municipalities. Each ward is there, a ward councillor is there, and all the councillors will elect the municipal chairman. And municipal corporations have continued for several years, and the local self-government is guided by the constitutional provisions also. Then comes the 74th Amendment. The 74th Amendment was passed in the month of December 1992, about 30 years back, and the president gave his accent on 20th April 1983. So the India notified the date of which the act came into force, and they are known as Nagar Panchayats, village panchayats and Nagar Panchayats. So according to this Nagar Panchayats, they should conduct meetings within 6 months. Each municipality has the power to collect taxes, to protect the hygiene of the particular area, cleaning and all the water supply, drainage is to be maintained by the municipalities. And the voluntary provisions are voting rights of the union and the state legislatures also are there. Suppose an MLA is there, if somebody is there in Vijayawada, there will be some MLAs in the district, Krishna district. They are members of the Krishna district Jilla Parishad. MPs also are the members of the Jilla Parishad. They are the nominated and co-opted members. And then you may have a doubt. You may say, sir, what is the importance of the central government in Panchayat Raj institutions? To fulfill the expectations of the rural development consideration, economic, political, technological, cultural, historical, moral, and aesthetic aspects are to be conducted by the municipalities, whether it is a small municipality or a bigger municipality or a big corporation like Hyderabad, Vijayawada. We have several major cities, and they are known as major cities and corporations. And the corporation is governed by a mayor. He is elected by the direct elections. Earlier, it used to be the members to elect the mayor, but now they made it a direct election for the mayors also. So in this aspect, when we come under this environmental information system, the central government has given some powers to the districts also. The basic concept of the Panchayat Raj is villagers should think, decide, and act for their own socio-economic interests. This you please note down. Panchayat Raj Act is the villagers should think, decide, and act for their own socio-economic interests. Because nobody will come and guide you. Nobody is there to observe what you are doing. Your own Panchayat, in the Gram Sabha, you meet there. Every month, there will be a meeting of Gram Sabha. Some senior officer will come and he will also be there to guide you. So you take your own decision, how the drainage is to be improved, how the sanitation is to be improved, how the water space is ought to be improved. Because in some areas during the summer, you may not be getting water supply. So then you should think of how to bring water from other places. You bring water tanks, you give water sufficiently to the villagers. That is your responsibility. It is not a right to become a sarpanch, and it is not a big post. You have to serve the people. Suppose if there is a health clinic, that health clinic is to be maintained by the village panchayat. Similarly, in the municipalities also, the areas where a township is there, the hospitals are there, the educational institutions are there, rural water supply schemes are there, and drainage systems are also there. All these things combined together, it becomes a very big thing where the existing system of panchayats in three-tier system, the panchayat level at the village and the district level at the district, and in between the Mandal Praja Parishads are. To sum up, the Panchayat Raj system has given access to several measures where the people are ruling their own destiny, and they are convinced. Now recently, the government of Andhra Pradesh also, they notified you have to keep it on a blackboard. What are the schemes you have taken up during this month, and what is the progress, what is the amount sanctioned, and who is the contractor, whether the work is completed within a time frame or there was a delay, and if the delay is there, what was the delay. All these things are to be noted down in your minutes book. There will be a meeting of Gram Sabha, and Gram Sabha is chaired by the Sarpanch. Sarpanch means earlier there used to be 5 people, members of that Panchayat, and he is the head. So he is known as Sarpanch. And he is assisted by one deputy Sarpanch. He is known as Upa Sarpanch. And members are there in different wards also. Suppose there is a small village which consists of 40,000 people, and there are about 12 wards. In that 12 wards, the category of scheduled caste reservation is there, scheduled tribe reservation is there, women reservation is there, and elections are conducted in every 5 years. Each voter, according to his convenience, he can directly elect the Sarpanch and a ward member for his ward. So this is the way Panchayat Raj system influences the entire Jilla Parishad. The Jilla Parishad has the powers to transfer the teachers. Educational institutions are governed by Jilla Parishad. We have a Jilla Parishad educational officer. So the Jilla Parishad educational officer, he controls the schools, all the aided schools, all the government schools run by Jilla Parishad. The Jilla Parishad runs some schools, and the state government runs some government schools. There are some private institutions also. There are several private institutions all these days. Now we have so many public schools and all these things. But the governing body and the inspecting authority is the person, the education officer. So the district educational officer, he comes and inspects how the education system is there, how the teachers are teaching, and how the students are responding. The governments of recent years, Jagan Mohan Reddy, he has coined the word Manabadi. The schools are maintained and the schools are renovated, and the children are given free kits of dress, free food, and Madhyana Bhojana Pathakam, midday meal scheme is there, and all the facilities are given to the students with free education. So education is a state subject and education is a district subject also. So the students of that particular village, they have the benefit of compulsory education also, right to education. That was the recent addition given by Government of India. Like you have several rights, right to freedom of speech, all these things combined together. Right to Information Act also is there. Information Act has come into force about 30 years back, and now we are feeling the safety with the government rules. They conduct this every year, this Right to Information Act. They give lot of pressure on the government. If you want to know what is the Polavaram project, how much amount has been spent on Polavaram project, whether it is a central government project or it is a state government project, and how the copper dams are constructed, and who gives the funds, and how the contractors are working, is there any lapse? All these things are to be noticed and notified. This is the system in our government, and we are controlled by several rules and regulations, including the importance of these directive principles. They are known as directive principles. If you have any doubts, you please ask me. I will close it. Hello?
Sir, no doubts.
No doubts. What do you understand? I will ask you 2-3 questions, each one of you. Yashwini, we will start with Yashwini. Yashwini, who is the Sarpanch?
We'll join again, sir.
Please.